It's a new moon and people are angry. People are angry because of the life that they've been allowing themselves to live, the fact that they've been letting themselves steal, kill, and destroy in other people's lives in a very unfair way, unjust way. They've been attacking the innocent, the weak, the meek. You know what's even worse? When people are in a weaker position naturally because of health or poverty or whatever, and they still choose to use other people who are just like them to try to get ahead. And these are the very people who are upset, angry, mad because they didn't get their way. I think it's so disgusting when people become what hurt them. I'm not a judgmental person, even though I'm supposed to be, as a Virgo sun, Virgo moon. I have other Virgo placements too, but I'm just really not that way. I'm just not, because I've worked hard to mind my own fucking business unless I have a reason to speak on it, you know? But I realized God has been telling me this whole time, like, you literally have an autoimmune disease because you've been repressed. You've been repressing your anger. You've been repressing your sadness and your rage. When I was a little girl, I would see my father get so angry, and he would do and say things that just really threw me off. And I just felt like I saw him just like differently each time. But the crazy part about it is I still loved him. And I'm realizing as an adult, I still loved him because possibly it's because he was manipulative. But as a little kid and as a young adolescent, like, I thought it was just me just loving like God loves. Like, you know, it felt so natural to still love my family, you know, through their darkest shadow self, right? But as I sit here and I've like realized that, like, okay, I've had narcissists around me my whole life, it hurts my feelings because it's like, I don't even know who you are. You know, you allowed life, you'd allowed pain to change you into a monster. And I think the biggest issue that I'm having right now in life is just realizing that, like, there's way more people like that in the world than I was hoping there would be. I was hoping that there will be so many more people who are taking the higher road. But, you know, there's goodness. I don't care to like try to convince other people of this. I know it. Just like I'm always hiding in my little cave, I know that there's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people doing the same thing who have stood firm in who they are. They've never changed. They still allow themselves to be corny and weird and mute or loud, talkative or silent, creative or dull and dim and superficial, whatever they feel like they need to be. Somebody said something today, I saw it on social media, and they said, like, you know, being sober is psychedelic. And I've had so many times throughout my life, more specifically, like, obviously, like, as an older person, like after 17 years old. So, like, after my mom passed and I was just kind of like partying and trying to like figure life out. And even as an adult, like, a lot of people in my, family and hometown would try to, like, they form these egregores themselves where they gossip and try to create narratives about something that they don't understand or don't want to understand, because hurt people, and that's human nature. And that's something I've been hearing a lot lately also. Why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why? That's why. It's just human. It's just normal. But I'll get back to saying why life is psychedelic when you're sober. Because it is. But I've known that. I've always lived in my body. Always. And I'm proud of that because I've always allowed myself to be human in the way that feels human to me. Just because I'm not a hurt person choosing to hurt other people and just do evil shit because I'm angry, that's not the only way to be human. It's not the only way to express yourself. I've channeled my shit into rough sounding art and fucking just silly ways that hurt me more than anyone else. I've thrown myself off a fucking cliff before I allow myself to just take somebody down with me. And I mean that in the most literal way. I don't know, y'all. I guess what I'm sharing is that, like, I'm realizing just how many people are waiting to try to, like, play you right at the end, right as you're at the end of that fucking, like, road, almost at the finish line. You're almost about to win, and there's so many people bruised, battered, barely hanging on, missing arms and legs and teeth and eyes and shit. No fucking energy, but they're using their last bit of energy just to get back at you. And I'm thinking about how I'm not afraid of death anymore. I've faced death when I first moved out here to LA because I was having a lot of weird shit happen to me that made me fear death. And before I got here, I got bit by a baby bat, y'all, because some random lady in St. Louis walked up to me with this baby bat. And I love bats. They're so cute. I just love animals. And it was doing that little thing that it does, that biolocation chirping, and it was like calling to me in this weird way. It felt like it was drawing me in. So I picked the bat up and it bit my thumb. And everyone around me was like, you need to go to the hospital, girl. They might have rabies. And I'm like, on some white girl shit, like, nah, I think I'm cool. Like, the teeth barely, like, went into my body, you know? But then I was doing all this research, and it was like talking about how, you know, you can catch it in like this long form way, and it doesn't kill you fast, it kills you slow. So I faced death, long story short, early on, like years ago, because I just kind of had to. And I've arrived at a place where it's like, I'm not afraid of it. If somebody came and tried to assassinate me right now, I would use my last bit of energy, my last bit of moments and seconds to just breathe and be, and hear the last little sounds I'm going to hear, and see the last bits of light that I'm going to see while I'm in a human body. And just to think how different other people are turning out to be, it feels strange. People are jealous of you for being who you are, but they're not even giving themselves a chance to be who the hell they are. It's crazy to me. And I just want to share that because, like, I don't know, I got to express myself. Like, that's what I'm sitting here realizing, that the Most High is trying to tell me, like, look, you just need to express yourself. You just need to do what you feel the need to do, and you need to trust it. And, like, I've always done that, and it's brought me success, even if it's on the most basic levels of just getting through to a few people. But, like, I don't like to wait around for life, you know? Like, I don't like to wait around to feel unblocked or to wait on shifts. Like, I know that there's an importance of, like, just kind of moving and grooving with the world around you, with the ebb and flows of life. But I'm just a person that likes to shake shit up and make shit happen. But everybody is just not like that. So I guess this is a motivational speech or something for people who are fucking shakers, movers, doers, creators, living in a world full of fucking followers, people who don't believe in themselves, don't give themselves a shot. This is probably a terrible example, but you know how much balls it takes for fucking Jaden Smith? And I'm only speaking on this because I saw it on Instagram this morning. He dropped his line, and people are like, oh, he's this rich kid, and he just, like, bro, he's trying to finish a friend's, like, legacy. He's coming up with shit that just people just aren't wearing. Men, I think it's fucking cool. Like, men shouldn't only have the option to wear fucking purses and bags. He came up with a fucking bulletproof proof style vest of like pockets that you can put shit. You know how dope that is? You can't get pickpocketed. You can have hella compartments for different shit. It looks hard as fuck. Like, you know how much balls it takes to display your art, whether you're rich or not? People can't even put together some shit they got from the thrift store and post it online, but have the audacity to talk shit. And that's what I'm talking about, bro. I'm not defending celebrities because I don't give a fuck, to be honest. I'm defending myself, the fact that I'm cutting up clothes and putting pins and shit on them, and I'm having a fucking great time, and I'm going out in public and little girls are looking at me like I'm a fucking shooting star. That's the, you know, like, people will never know what the fuck that feels like. And if they do, they just rather be fucking miserable. God be trying to show them the light. God be trying to show them the love. We are all living in the same fucking dream. We all have the ability to feel the same richness and love and fucking brightness and excitement and bliss and yearning and woe and rise and fall and triumph. But people just are just following the fucking, just letting the world just beat them the fuck down and tell them to walk in that line, and they're gonna fucking do it. And you trying to, you know, you might be a person who wants to introduce people to a whole new way of just living through just them being themselves, and like they'll fight you on that shit. So when you figure out that's not gonna get me nowhere, it's gonna tear me down, I'm just gonna shoot for the stars in whatever way that makes sense for me. People are still, you're never gonna make people happy, and that shouldn't even be your goddamn, your fucking focus anyway. That should not be your focus. Your fucking focus is next stop the fucking stars in the sky, in the moon, and beyond that, you know? Like, what the fuck do you live for, man? I live for the sun on my face. I live for drinking fresh water and eating fruit off trees and fucking being healthy enough to climb the trees. I live for being able to fucking dance and kiss and look someone else in the eyes and see them how God sees everything. Like, you know, like it's nothing like it. I'm still thinking about that whole sober comment because I really have never had a problem with like really like abusing stuff like that. If I did, it was always by choice, and that's the opposite of addiction. One is you can control and the other is extremely controlled. You know, and I'm not trying to compare myself to anyone. I'm trying to express myself, who I am. Because God made me this way for a fucking reason. I'm not gonna like let people keep trying to fucking box me. Like, that's not gonna happen. So anytime I feel the need to express something, I'm just gonna do it. Because the more that I don't, the more fucking impaired my body becomes. And that shit's crazy as fuck. That shit pissed me off. Like, I thought I had a friend who had been supporting me for fucking years. The more open I thought we were getting with each other, the more fucking weird it got. And then it started feeling like she was looking at me like I owe her something. I'm trying to encourage motherfuckers to build their own dream and their own shit, and they just want to tag along. But tag along with no fucking like love in their heart. Like, what kind of shit is that? You know? And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of every single person in my life who's trying to fucking take from me, even in their last motherfucking days, their last breath. And I don't mean that literally. Some people might be transitioning. I don't fucking know. I don't care. To be real, I don't care. I don't care. Whatever fucking predicament people are gonna wind up in, it's on them, you know? Like, I was listening to Miss Stone, shout out to her, like talking in one of her little talks earlier or yesterday. Either way, I don't remember when, but she hit some fucking points, man. I done watched everybody win. I done clapped. Sometimes I was a little salty, but I don't let myself evil eye nobody. I just go into my fucking room, cry my little tears, and then I end up laughing at myself because what the fuck, you know? I've watched friends celebrate and plan dinners and hang out and people fall in love and people go on family vacations, and I've seen people living their lives exactly how I see myself living, and I lived every single year of my 30 years damn near completely alone around people who don't even care about me for real. Anytime I was surrounded by people, they never cared about me. They just cared about whatever they were enjoying in the moment. And that's, you know, it is what it is. Some people had more sinister intentions, whatever, but all I'm saying is I've never got to experience certain things for real. And it's my fucking time to. I'm 30 years old. People just be assuming this and that about you because, oh, people find you attractive and, oh, you got talents. Okay, well, people don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck about that unless you give a fuck about that. And when I got health problems, it was hard for me to give a fuck about my own shit because I had to focus on health. You know how fucking terrible that is? I was watching a video the other day of a girl who has RA, or she has lupus, a young Asian girl, and she was like, I went to school, I studied half my life to be a chef, and now I can't even use my fucking hands. People don't know what the fuck that shit feels like because they didn't even have something that they loved before they got in that situation. And when I realized that, I'm like, oh yeah, no, we're different. I don't even know who you are. I don't know who you are because you don't know who you are. Simple. People don't be allowing themselves to love shit or actually be present. And if they do, they only allow themselves to be present in the most fucking dark, miserable ways. I've had misery and try to find any fucking crumb of bliss I can find in every little situation. I don't know what that is in me, but I'm glad I have it. And I want to share it with other people. I want to go around other people who have it. And so that's just how I'm feeling today. And that's what I want to express today because I have been just like really in a very secluded kind of head down and working space for the past couple of days because I had like a very fun, crazy weekend. And then I just had to kind of like get some me time after that to recharge my like, you know, my like, what do they call it? Like your social battery and shit. Because I had allowed myself to actually go out and be unmasked. Like half the time I was out, I was like pretty masked. I was just like kind of, you know, communicating and talking like everyone else does. But then I got around a group of people in private and we spent like a night and a day together and I was completely unmasked. And my friend was making fun of me like, oh, Zen's been talking for 15 hours. And I was, and I'm like, dude, I've been repressed. Like I have 1,000,001 fucking things to talk about. I have 1,000,001 ways I want to experience people. I'm looking at people in their eyes. I'm touching their hair, touching their face with permission, of course. Asking them about their love lives and their fucking goals and their plans and wishes. And when I got home, of course, that shit made me sad only because it's like, damn, like I really am repressed. I really have not got to enjoy having friends or anything. But I still feel so free and strong and capable. And I know that I can have that. It really did take me to learn how to not take scraps, to weed, you know, separate the wheat from the shaft or whatever that's called. I think I said it right. And it's not an easy thing to do. Because even when you find these beautiful blessings, like life just has a way of like ripping it apart. And then you have to kind of pick up the pieces, but it's like, you got to just go on, y'all. So I guess that's my message. Just keep going on. I'm going on with you. I'm here and we're here. Till next time.